It is evident. But anyway, we just thought we should do this mukbang while we tell you how we met. So in summary, we met at 2010. 4 months down the line, we got engaged. 4 months after the engagement, we got married without anybody knowing. It was only our two friends that knew, Gracious Trini and Mam Ruby. They walked with us to social, what's that?
Home Affairs.
To Home Affairs, and we came back with the marriage certificate. Nobody knew. That's when we told our pastors, and our pastors told our parents. Someone was disowned. I was told to pack my bags and leave Gauteng, since I went to Gauteng to look for a man instead of schooling. And now it's 9 years later and we are still happily married. We are blessed with 3 sons, 19-year-old, 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And we have had a lot of challenges. It was not a smooth ride. It was not what... Hey guys, when I say I've been with this dude for 9 years, I mean that. 9 years feels like 100 years because of the challenges that we have faced. Guys, welcome back to Just Ndivhu T, and of course we are back with another video and we hope you're gonna have fun. So I'm just gonna let my cute husband do the introduction of this video.
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be funny or anything like that, but hey man, we're here to serve you and obviously make you happy at the end of the day. So this is what we do. So today we're basically going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. For those of you who do not know us, maybe from our past, obviously some of you may know us, but some of you may not. So we're just gonna simply give you an introduction about ourselves, where we come from, how we met, and how we came about to be here, specifically.
But it's not gonna be fun if we just talk sitting like this, right? So yes, we've got just the right thing. So we're gonna be doing also mukbang. Is that how you say it? Mukbang, mukbang, however you say it, right? So yeah, as you guys know that I love food, like I said on my first video. So yes, we're just gonna be talking while we eat.
Yes, definitely, that's what we're going to do. So, I am Shudupadzo Chibati. While she's busy unpacking the food, I'll be telling you a little bit about myself, right? So, I'm Shudupadzo Chibati. I'm commonly known as Shudu, right? Ndivhu T, to be specific, right? That's where she got her name, man. Oh, thanks to moi. Hey, so she says she's Ndivhu T. Obviously, she'll make an introduction about herself. But hey, I come from Venda, Limpopo, Chakuma, to be specific, right? I am 30 years old. What else do I need to introduce about myself? I'm not gonna tell you about what I do for a living and all those kind of boring stuff. But hey man, I'm married to this woman right here next to me, right? She's the one who's making me what I am, right? So you can imagine. So the more you guys watch these videos, let me tell you the truth. The more you watch these videos is the more I look good, right? So yes, please keep watching the videos so that I can definitely look good and look the part at all times, yeah?
Oh yes, and as most of you know, I am Ndivhu T. Obviously Ndivhu T. Ndivhu is from my name, my full name is Ndivhu. And the T of course is from his surname, which is Chibati. And yes, we have been married for 9 years. Yeah, we're going to be turning 9 years this week.
Is it this week?
On the 29th September.
No, on the 29th of September, we are turning actually 8, right? Next year, we are turning 9 in March. Okay, we've got too many anniversaries, that's why she's confusing everything, right? So we got married legally on the 29th of March 2011, right? Yeah, I think it was 2011. Yeah, 2011. So that's when we got married. So we had a white wedding on the 29th of September 2012, right? So we're basically turning 9 years next year, March. So we are working towards our 9 year in marriage. Man, oh man, it's been a hustle. It's been a long trip until today, right? So yes, we have been together for 10 years. We're working towards our 10th year next year, May, on the 11th. So we'll be 10 years together and 9 years in marriage in March.
When did we meet? When did we start dating?
2010. We met in 2010.
Oh.
May. So you're even confusing the dates. You were busy sitting here wondering, eh? Is he even telling the truth? I am, man. That's what I do. I know my dates.
Why?
Do you even have an origin? Where do you originate?
I don't really have an origin. Okay, but yeah, I've stayed in so many places. I don't even have like one place that I can say this is where I grew up. But yes, I was born in Jerry Timber for those who know it. And yeah, I used to be called Ndivhu Puma. That was my mom's surname. And then when I was in grade 10, I changed to Ndivhu Mngomeni. And when I was doing my second year, when I was 19 years old, I changed to Ndivhu T.
That's where I was involved, eh? So I managed to secure the bag. I didn't secure it with money. I secured it with a full person. So yes, we met in 2010. I'm gonna give you just a little bit description about our history, right? So we met in 2010. It was basically a church. The first time I saw her, she was coming to church, and as she said, she woke up, decided to go to a new church altogether. Is that what we wanted to say? Okay, yeah. So you can take it from there. I'll continue with the. Okay. So yes, hey, to excitement.
So that day I woke up, I was like, I want to look good, I want to feel good. As you know, Christians, what they say dress to bless. So that day I definitely dressed to bless. So when I got to church, obviously my cleavage was on point, my figure was on point, carrying my handbag. I get to church and I met this guy standing by the door, and he was wearing star white.
So cleavage is dressed to bless.
I didn't say bless who. I said dress to bless.
Bless who?
You.
You didn't even know me by then.
I knew I was gonna. I told God that I want to find a man.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I go to church, he was there sitting by the door looking like an angel, wearing star white. Yeah, that was not attractive.
I was not wearing star white when
okay, he was wearing white pants, white shoes, white, what do you call it, body warmer, and then a lime shade on the inside. So we can just say it was a star white. Guys, I will try to find the picture and put it here if I find it. But yeah.
That was not on that day.
This guy used to love wearing, Christian boys, man, those brothers, man, they wear white shoes, white what, yo, guys, yeah. And here I was looking like a slave queen. So I got to church,
With what?
With the heel and the dress and the cleavage and the hair.
You were not wearing that.
What was I wearing?
You were wearing a jean. You were wearing a jean with a black top that showed cleavage. Okay. More like a vest or something. Then I don't know whether you were wearing a heel or whatever.
Oxalayo, I had my cleavage on.
Okay. So don't lie to people. Anyways, so yeah, that's the day that we met, right? So obviously you can't just go ahead seeing somebody for the first time and go, no, I love you, I'm into you and all that. You're seeing them for the first time, and so it's not love at first sight or anything like that. Maybe it does happen, but hey, it was not like that with me. So I just saw her and I'm like, offered to carry her handbag, took her to the seat. After taking her to the seat, I think she was charmed, man. Star White really did the like she said, it really did the trick, right? So she decided to stay in the church and everything. And even went to the extent of joining netball team. And me being having the blesser antics, these things of blessing have always been in me. That's why she's eating, because of moi. So it has always been what I do. So I decided, okay, let me just sponsor the netball team, because they didn't have like your kit and everything, because it was fairly new, right? So I decided, let me sponsor the netball team so that at least I can be able to get close to her somehow. So I did that and decided to attend netball games. So I was treasured. You can imagine, bless her, being treasured by all the ladies. And by then, mind you, I was still a trainee. And I was not even earning much. I think I was earning around 4,000 rand, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 800 a week.
Yeah, so it was roughly 4 something. So now that's 1.6 times 1. It was not 800. I think it was probably more. Okay, but yeah, it probably could have been 3.6. But hey, so I was earning around there. So I decided, let me just get some few cheap t-shirts and impressed. They won't even know how much were they, right? So I decided to do that, and yes, it went the trick. It did the trick. One day they invited me over to a gathering, a netball ladies gathering, and I went there with my friends. By then as well, I was still working, right? So the good thing is that when you're working, you have got an opportunity. Yes, you might be driving and all that, and you get an opportunity to talk to someone, but when you are working, you get to have much more attention. You walk, you know, all these things. So I decided to ask her out and all that, and that's where precisely she agreed, and we went on our first date. What happened from there? Hey, you're busy, eh? You're not even giving me time. Ha! Lord. Hello.
After taking a walk, he took me to McDonald, and the rest is history. Okay, not really. Fast forward, after four months of dating, that's when he popped the question with the pink diamond ring, and he said, would you marry me? Actually, no, he didn't really say, would you marry me? He said, this is a promise ring, and I'm sure if you're a lady, you don't want to be wearing a ring that is called a promise ring. I was like, I told people that, you know, this guy engaged me, I am engaged, we're going to get married. So because Mogai was a Christian and he didn't want to do the cloth thingy.
What is cloth?
He suggested that
Cloth.
he decided that we should get married so that we can be able to do it freely. And that's how we got married within 8 months of dating.
Mm-hmm.
You can continue.
Okay. So, obviously, we did that without the knowledge of the parents. They didn't know. It was just a decision. And it created a lot of havoc, as you probably would expect. The parents were not happy. I'm not going to get into the detail of that, but there was some disowning in the process, fighting, meetings, and all these things when it eventually came out. If you want to know more, we can tell you more some other time. But yes, we finally decided to make things right in order to please the parents, and that was in 2012, the 29th of September. We decided to have a white wedding. Oh my word, the worst nightmare ever. Now, this is just an advice to all of you who want to get married. Please do not get married or have a white wedding. Cascoloto, please do not do it.
That will be a video on its own.
Okay.
We will tell them how we got into debt, how we had our wedding.
Okay.
Comment down below if you want to know more, like how we got into debt because of a wedding that we didn't even enjoy.
But hey, but that's even when I want to speak about it, this is a cheapy. But anyways, maybe she will translate what I meant because I don't know the word for it. Oh, choked. Yeah. So yeah, that's a story I don't want to get to right now. That it did this to me. I became slim. Now I'm gaining weight. As you can see, that's why I said to you guys, if you watch, then we obviously I will look good. I will gain weight. But hey, man, maybe you're bored. We are just telling you stories, but there's so much where this came from, and we just hope and pray that you can engage or relate with the story. And if you want to know more, as she indicated, please feel free to comment down below and ask us questions in terms of what you want us to tell you about. But hey, as young as we got married, I think she was 19, as she said, and I was 22. Just recently turned 22 because I was born in Jan. So we got married in March. So I recently turned 22. So we have been through a lot. Imagine getting married at a young age. So obviously that on its own was a hassle. I mean, a hassle purely because we didn't have anyone support, as we didn't involve anyone in our marriage. And by then I was not working. I was just a trainee. As well as on her side, she was still at school. So you can imagine a family being started by people that are not even working and that are staying in Gauteng for that matter, and that are still dependent on parents in order to get something. But that's not who I am. I make sure that I provide for my family, man.
Guys, I love food. Where there is food, you will not hear me talk. That's just who I am. I'm sure it's evident. Right? It is evident. But anyway, we just thought we should do this mukbang while we tell you how we met. So in summary, we met at 2010. 4 months down the line, we got engaged. 4 months after the engagement, we got married without anybody knowing. It was only our two friends that knew, Gracious Trini and Mam Ruby. They walked with us to social, what's that?
Home Affairs.
To Home Affairs, and we came back with the marriage certificate. Nobody knew. That's when we told our pastors, and our pastors told our parents. Someone was disowned. I was told to pack my bags and leave Gauteng, since I went to Gauteng to look for a man instead of schooling. And now it's 9 years later and we are still happily married. We are blessed with 3 sons, 19-year-old, 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And we have had a lot of challenges. It was not a smooth ride. It was not what... Hey guys, when I say I've been with this dude for 9 years, I mean that 9 years feels like 100 years because of the challenges that we have faced. I don't know how many times I've cried. I don't know how many times I've packed my bags. I don't know how many times I've told him where to get off. I don't know how many times I've taken off my ring, which I no longer wear, but not because of that. But guys, we have been through it all.
It's not you alone. I don't wear as well. You can see it.
Yeah, so the next time we also gonna do a story on that, why I no longer wear my ring. But he still wears his ring. He's just not wearing it now because we're home. But I don't wear my ring anymore. We will do a story on that because there is someone, I think her name is Marubini. She asked on my first video, why am I no longer wearing a ring? And we will do a story on that and we will tell you why.
Marriage is not a ring.
Marriage. Are you giving them the answer? No, that's just Mugai trying to defend himself, maybe, I don't know. So
I'm full now. We can finish.
yeah, even my tummy is painful. I think I need to go to the toilet. But anyway guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as always. I wanted to lie. Bye.
Bye guys. Unfortunately, we didn't eat the nuggets because, yeah, we are full. We'll eat them for lunch.